Hey, what's going on, everybody? Echo Side Fiend here, back once again, and today I got to do my review for Astronomicon 3. I attended just yesterday, Saturday, February 8th. I'm recording this on February 9th, so it's obviously still going on today, but I just went, this year I just went Saturday. I've obviously attended the first two as well. The first year, we just went Saturday, and the second year, last year, we went Friday night. We didn't get there till like just a little bit before the concert started, but we went Friday night and then stayed and then attended Saturday. This year, just went Saturday. This year, unfortunately, I could not go with Joe, my buddy that owns and operates Michigan Geek Scene. He could not get the time off of work, unfortunately, and we had originally talked about going Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this year. So I had put in for quite a while ago. I put in for Monday off, like tomorrow. Again, I'm recording this on Sunday, and because I assumed we'd get back mid to late afternoon Sunday, and then I'd have Monday to rest up and decompress. And when he decided he wasn't going to be able to go, I still just kept Monday off anyway. So I actually have tomorrow off. I have a nice 3-day weekend, and ended up getting my roommate to go with me. My roommate Jenny. I just asked her, I was like, hey, Joe can't go. I still really want to go to this. I probably still would have gone anyway, but it would be nice to have someone to ride with. And I was like, if I just buy you a ticket, will you go? And she's like, yeah, I guess. And then I started showing her the guests, and there was a couple that she wanted to meet. There was the Art the Clown. I forget the actor's name, but she's a huge fan of the movie Terrifier. And then Lloyd Kaufman from the Troma Films. In his meet and greet was free. So she saw that. She's like, yeah, I'll definitely go. And then I was telling her, she's an artist, and I was telling her how there's lots of art booths and stuff. And she ended up meeting a couple artists that she's gonna collaborate with and stuff like that. So turned out cool, and she had a good time. So she's not into the Juggalo scene at all, but she still had a lot of fun. So me and her attended on just Saturday. So yeah, basically let's just get right into this. So we headed out Saturday morning. And while she was still getting ready, I ran across the street to the bank, got cash out, and then I went and got gas, and then came back and got her. And when I headed out, the driving was shit. I was like, this sucks, man. And I'm like, this is going to be a shitty fucking drive. So I got back and got her. We're taking off, sliding all over the place. And I got great tires on my car and everything. We're sliding, and I'm trying to pull out of our apartment complex. And I'm like, this is going to suck. If I hadn't bought the tickets yet, I may have decided to just say, fuck it, let's not even go. But it was weird. We hit the highway, and it was fucking totally fine. It was so weird. I mean, I understand they clear the highways off, first and foremost, but it was fine. And like once we were about half hour into the trip, it was clear, sunny, everything. So totally glad we still decided to go. So ended up getting out there. Just took us about a little under 2.5 hours, which is normal to get to Detroit or to Sterling Heights. And so we got there to the Wyndham Garden Sterling, where they've done it the last 2 years. And we pulled into the parking lot. We got there about 11 o'clock, and it was fucking packed. I mean, I circled all around the fucking parking lot. Their parking lot's huge. Circled all the way around, driving up and down the fucking lanes. I'm like, I don't think we're going to find anywhere to park. We finally get around way to the back and find, I don't even know if it was really any place we were supposed to park, but there was a couple cars there already, so I'm like, fuck it, we're parking here. And then Jenny had to get her makeup all done and everything, so we're sitting there for about 5 minutes. By the time we got out of the car, the whole fucking row, I mean, probably another 30 cars, 20 to 30 cars probably, all down that fucking row. And like when I pulled up, we were the last one, and within 5 minutes, completely full. So made the long trek across the parking lot, got inside, go to get our tickets, and because I had ordered them, but I just put them on will call, right? So we go in, and we're waiting in line, and the guy that we walk up to, I was like, you're on Cinemassacre's YouTube channel, and it was Tony from Hack the Movies, and he's on when they do the video rental reviews, when they have their video store, the Cinemassacre video, and they have that set that looks like a video store, and they do the reviews of like generally old movies, and it's like James Rolfe and Tony, and then there's that is it Justin Silverman or something like that, the heavier set guy. Apparently he was there as well at Astronomicon. I did not see him, but on his Twitter he was posting photos, so apparently he was there. So yeah, we walk up and I'm like, you're Tony, and he's like, what, do you think I'm Tony from Hack the Movies? And he's wearing a Hack the Movies shirt and stuff. So he was super nice. got us our passes, and then as we're leaving, I shook his hand, and he's like, "Hey, in just a little while, I'll be out and about, man." He's like, "Come up to me, I'll do a photo or whatever." I was like, "Cool," so I did do that later. Um, but really nice guy. So shout out to Tony from Hack the Movies and everybody at Cinemassacre. So we headed in, and we're just kind of walking around, making sure, the setup and all that. And got inside, and Jenny had never been there before, so I showed her like where the celebrity guests would be, and we saw the table for the guy that plays Art the Clown, but he was not there. I know he was doing a photo op, so we're thinking that's probably where he was off doing that at the time. But she did see Lloyd Kaufman, so we were walking by and just happened to see him right at his table, and she's like, "Oh, I'm going to jump in line here." And I was planning on trying to meet him. I didn't end up meeting him, but I saw Blaze up at the counter at the autograph table for MNE, and I had a few things that I wanted him to sign. So I'm like, "Well, I'm going to jump over there." And so we ended up, just kind of going our separate ways and then meeting up later. So ended up jumping in line, and Axe Murder Boys were right before him, and I was going to get a picture with them, and then they were kind of like busy talking to somebody when I went by. So because they were like right before Blaze, so I was like, "Oh, maybe I'll come back later if they're back up there again." And they were, but I didn't end up getting up there. I would have, I just didn't have the time after I was running around doing everything. And so I ended up getting up there, meeting Blaze, had him sign a couple things, which I'll show. Got a picture with him. And then pretty much looking at the schedule, Twisted was going to be back up there, and I had some things I wanted them to sign too. So I pretty much got done with Blaze and got right back in line to meet Twisted, and within just a few minutes they came up. And then so jumping in line so early, I was only about 20 people back. Still took probably about 20, 25 minutes to get up there, and they were only going to be there for an hour. So I'm glad I got right back in line. And they were asking that you do just 2 items, a picture and 2 items. I kind of did 3 items, but you'll see I had just one autograph on one autograph on another, and then had them both sign another item. So I technically just got 2 items. They didn't have any problem doing that. So got a picture with them, got to talk to them for a minute. Always a pleasure meeting them. Got to tell them how much I love Generation Nightmare, because I do. I think it's a fucking fantastic album. And so got done with them. I ended up just kind of running out into the little eatery over there, their little food window, got a bite to eat. Met back up with my roommate, with Jenny. She had got her picture and all that with Lloyd Kaufman. I do have what she got signed. She bought a promo. I'm going to show that. And when I put this all together, after I upload this, I'm going to put the cover photo of me meeting somebody that I'll be talking about, and then like combined with her picture with Lloyd Kaufman, so you can see that. And because I don't know how to insert pictures in here, there's got to be some way I can do it just using my phone, but unfortunately I don't know how to do it. So I'll just put that as the cover photo. So after we met back up, kind of same thing. She kind of wanted to go around and look at some artists, and I wanted to go meet WWE diva, I guess you'd say, because that's kind of the era she was in. But WWE diva Lita. When I first saw that she was announced to be there, I was like super fucking excited. She is absolutely one of my favorite wrestlers, period. She's my favorite female wrestler of all time. And before I get into this, I want to make it clear, yes, I do think she's fucking hot. I think she's absolutely drop dead gorgeous. But I also respected her big time as a professional wrestler. I always liked the fact that she wasn't just some random hot chick that WWE tracked down and said, "Hey, let's teach you 6 moves, we'll make you Divas champion." And if they want to do that, that's fine. And if a fitness model decides to take a shot at wrestling, and even if they not very good, if they're just doing what WWE tells them to do, more power to you. I don't have anything against that. But Lita, knowing her story, knowing how she traveled to Mexico to learn how to wrestle, how she was a lifelong wrestling fan, decided that's what she wanted to do, headed to Mexico, took the training, learned all the lucha libre. I believe she went to Japan for a little while too. I could be wrong on that, but I feel like I've read that before. Regardless, she went, sought out the training herself, learned it all. Obviously hooked up with Hardy Boys. Obviously, I know dating Matt Hardy, but worked through the independents. I know she was in ECW. I saw her because I attended a couple original ECW shows, 3 or 4 of them. She was at every one. She was Angelica then, I believe. But regardless, and then I remember seeing her debut on WWE, the WWF, probably still at that time. but on Raw with S.A. Rios, and it took me a minute. I was watching, looking at the screen. I'm like, I think that's Angelica, and seeing her, get into the WWE, work her way up. She's super talented, and then when she started hanging with the Hardy Boys, her look and her style, which from what I understand, is very much her anyway, is what I liked. I was a skater punk, and I love, she was wearing the baggy cargo pants, with the thong out and all that, and the shirts with skulls and stuff, and that was the type of girl that I liked. So obviously she's absolutely gorgeous. She's the type of chick I like, and she's a fucking badass wrestler. So I just all around respected the shit out of her, and I still do. And all the years that I've been going to meet wrestlers, going behind the arena when they come here to town, going to meet and greets, Astronomicon, stuff like that, comic conventions, never had the chance to meet Lita. So when I saw that she was announced, I was so fucking excited. I was like, fuck yeah. And oddly enough, I don't really have anything for her to sign, so it's like, well, I hope she has promos, which she did. And so when I first got there, when I was showing Jenny where the celebrity booth or celebrity area was, we walked by her table and saw her sitting there, and I'm like, oh God, I can't wait to get back up there and meet her. And so I went into the Blaze and Twisted, and then pretty much I was like, all right, I'm gonna go meet Lita. So I headed down there. At the time I walked up, there was no one at her table, and I'm like, or I think she was talking to somebody, but there was no line, is what I should say. And I walked up and talked to her assistant, I'm like, hey, I want to do a picture and an autograph, and she had some promos out, and then the girl's like, yeah, if you do the combo, you can just grab one of those promos, and I immediately saw the one I wanted. It's a picture of her that I think is awesome. She looks beautiful in it, but just it's a cool picture. They had that, so I grabbed that, and kind of waited for her to finish up, and walked up and got to talk to Lita. It was so cool. I kept my cool. I tried to remain as calm as I could. I was a little shaky, which very rarely happens to me. I very rarely get starstruck, but I was a little nervous, and trying to, make sure I didn't say anything stupid, and so I was telling her how I was a longtime fan, and she was, very appreciative of that. And then she's like, signing it, and she's like, would you like me to make this out to you? And I'm like, yeah, my name's Timmy. And she kind of looks down, and she looks back up at me, and she's like, Timmy, are you ever going to graduate to Tim? So I had to tell her how I became Timmy way later in life, after South Park, and she seemed to get a kick out of that. She's laughing about it, and I was telling her how the day after Timmy first appeared on South Park, I was walking into work the next day, and the plant manager was waiting for me to come in. He kind of peeked out of his office, and he sees me walking, and he hides back in his office, peeks out again to see how close I am, and he jumped out in front of me. He's like, Timmy! He's like, hey, did you watch it last night? I was like, yeah, I saw it, so I was telling her that story, and she was laughing about that, and so I took a picture with her, and then just, thanked her, and I said how much of an honor it was to meet her, and she was like, well, thank you so much for all your support, and got my promo, and, shook her hand, and headed out. So, pretty quick interaction, just like last year when I met Jake the Snake, because there was other people waiting, and but it was really cool to finally meet her. Again, one of my favorite wrestlers at just period, and then favorite female wrestler of all time. And so it was so cool to get to meet her, and just to say thank you for all the matches, and just tell her how much I appreciate her work. And that was that. So I do definitely hope to run into her again some other time, maybe at some other convention, because I do plan on getting a few things. I know she's got a book, which I never did get, so I would like to get that, and then maybe have her sign that. But just to meet her this one time was super cool. So thanks Twisted for getting her on this convention. So yeah, pretty much after that, just hooked back up with Jenny, and we just kind of wandered around, and I didn't really have a whole lot to do after that. I pretty much had already kind of seen, just I had done a quick few walkthroughs, but then Jenny was like, well, I'm pretty much ready whenever you want, which is like, if you want to look at anything else. And I'm like, yeah, let's just take a quick look through, because I hadn't stopped and looked at everything. So just kind of wandered back through, taking a little more time. I was planning on buying all the Haunted Highons comics, and because I've only got the one shot and issue 1. And so I was like, well, while I'm there, I'll just pick up all the other ones. But apparently they're like sold out of all of those. Like the merch booth only had the ones I had. Source Point didn't have any. Dirk Manning didn't have any. I found a comic vendor that did have them all, but he had quite high prices on them. And then when he was telling me about, I was asking him like, hey, if he had them, and he's like, if you do buy, because I needed like 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And he goes, if you pick all those up, he's like, I'll give you a deal. He had them like priced up to like $110 for total. And he goes, if you do buy them all, I'll give them to you for 80. And I'm like, yeah, let me think about it, you know. And I pretty much walked away. I was like, that's too much to spend on. I'm not a big comic collector, so for me, it would be, I would read them, but it would be mostly for my collection. So I was like, yeah, let me think about that. And I pretty much took like 2 steps. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So I'll probably look for them on eBay or whatever. But so yeah, just wandered around, checked out a few action figure booths. Didn't really see anything that caught my eye. There was a video game vendor. Nothing really, again, that stood out to me. I've got a pretty good collection of retro games that I haven't hardly played much of anyway. So it's like I don't need to add any more to my collection right now. So pretty much just wandered around, and that was that. I did attend. I forgot. I did attend the Haunted Highlands panel. I missed a little bit of it, but got in there. I saw probably about 40 minutes of it. It was about an hour. And they basically just announcing that they are working with Amazon Prime, hopefully putting together some type of, I'm guessing, a cartoon, you know, animated series or whatever. They had the like vice president of the like Amazon Prime distribution or something like that. He came in and you know, they officially announced him as a partner. And then they also announced the next series of Haunted Highlands, which I will be showing. They gave out a print of what will be the next series in the Haunted Highlands chapter, or whatever you want to call it. So I'll be showing that. And I'm sure Fago lovers will be probably covering all of that too, when all went on that panel. But that was pretty cool. They had, obviously both Twisted and then Dirk Manning. And then they called up that guy. His name was Ken something. I forget what it was. But then they had a moderator. I didn't recognize him. But so went to that. That was a little earlier. And then, like I said, walked around, checked everything out. And that was pretty much that. So we ended up heading out about 4:30. Jenny had to work this morning at 5. So when she agreed to go, she's like, I'll go if we can leave at a decent time. And I'm like, yeah, I don't need to be there for that long. So yeah, just a real quick shout out to people I ran into. Gage, my buddy Gage was there. His mom, Chrissy. I know both of them well. Visited with them for a few minutes. My friend Raven was there with her wife and daughter. Talked to them right when we got there, and then didn't really see them much again after that. Gage I did see at the panel, but yeah, I didn't see Raven again much after that. So, but still got to visit with both of them for a minute. And then also, when I was on my way to the panel, I ran into Ryan. I believe that's Mr. Diamond. I have met him a couple times before, I think at like Hollow Wicked and stuff. But so we stopped and chit-chatted for a few minutes, and then we went to the panel, and then I was hoping to catch him after the panel. I was going to grab a picture with him because I don't have any pictures with him, and it didn't end up seeing him again after that. So, but shout out to all of you, Gage and Chrissy, Raven, and Emily, I believe her wife's name is, and to Ryan. And so shout out to all you guys. Good to see you. And yeah, that was pretty much that. Just I did, like I said, got a picture with Tony from Hack the Movies just before we were leaving. And did get a picture with Dirk Manning as well. Also, yeah, just a little bit before we were leaving. So, and I didn't get any of this stuff up on my Facebook. If you are friends with me on Facebook, I didn't do anything on Facebook yesterday because my Facebook was not working. Everything I tried to upload my picture of Lita. I tried to upload or just check in, and nothing was working. It would keep saying that it was failed or whatever. And then later in the day, Jenny did get hers to her picture with Lloyd to upload. So I meant to do that when I got home. Totally fucking fell asleep. So I'll be doing that today. So any pictures I have, if you are friends with me on Facebook, I'll get those up. So yeah, that's pretty much it as far as the review part. So same thing, Twisted, and everybody who worked on it. I know there's a lot of people behind the scenes. Great fucking job. Only complaint, you guys got to move to a fucking bigger venue next year. This had to be, from what I understand, they nearly tripled their attendance from the first year to the second year, and this year had to be at least double that. It was fucking awesome. It's good for you guys that you're attracting that big of a crowd, but man, there was so many times, just like the last year, you'd be heading down an aisle and you'd have to turn around and go back because it was so fucking packed, which again, it's a good bad problem to have, I guess. You know, it shows that lots of people are there. But yeah, come on, guys, let's move it to a bigger venue so you can get more guests, get even more attendees, and a little more easier to move around. I know they're working with what they got, and they do a great job. But a bigger venue would definitely suit them, and I feel like next year they're gonna have to. So, but regardless, great event. Awesome job, Magic Ninja, Twisted, everybody behind the scenes. So much fun. Glad I got to attend again this year. Again, this year I did have to pay for it. No complaints whatsoever about having to pay for it. The other years I got in free with Joe, but spending, I think it was like $32. No problem spending that kind of money on this. I know it helps out, helps them be able to put together another one, and I'm glad to add to that. So no problem doing that, and I will definitely be attending next year, whether it's at the Wyndham Garden again, or if they move it somewhere else. I'm hoping they keep it in the area, but regardless, I will be there next year, without a doubt, at least on Saturday. So again, if you haven't been to Twisted's Astronomicon, make sure you go next year, especially if you're into any kind of pop culture, or if you're a juggalo, you'll just enjoy it no matter what. So all right, let's go ahead and show what I got here. So first off, I didn't actually buy much this year. I really only like picked up 2 items, other than doing the Twisted, or I'm sorry, the Lita promo, meet and greet with the promo. So yeah, first off, I guess I'll just show, got Generation Nightmare vinyl signed. I already had this. I did the pre-order, so I obviously had both of them sign that. So this is a fucking great album. I think I talked about it before. And a lot of people I know talk about they don't like it, but I do feel some people are forcing themselves not to like it. That may not be the case. Maybe not at all. I don't know. But so as I was also trying to think of some things to bring to get signed, I grabbed my Abominations. Each one of the, what do I want to say, the slip covers. And so I had each one of them sign their respective one, and that's why how I said, and he used silverware. I can't even see it in the camera there, so yeah, it doesn't show up as good. I wish he'd used gold, but whatever. So Madrox right there, obviously Monoxide right there, and that's why I kind of like got away with where they were saying you could only have 2 items signed. Well, I'm like, technically I'm only getting 4 autographs total. So again, they didn't even say anything. I walked up and they didn't have any problem with it. So had Blaze. I'm in the process. I pretty much started this. I'm going to start having him sign his entire catalog. So started with Casket Factory and Casket Maker. I feel like I probably could have brought a few other ones and he wouldn't have a problem signing all of them. I wouldn't have brought the whole collection, but I probably could have brought a couple more. But I'm just gonna do a few at a time when if I do like meet and greets, or go to Astronomicon or whatever. So, and go ahead and show the Lita promo. That is the picture I'm talking about. Oh man, she is so beautiful in that picture, and just meeting her in person, she was so beautiful in person, and just such a nice girl. It was such an honor to meet her. So, and of course she drew a heart there. I think she likes me. See how she drew the heart there? When she drew XO, I think she's into me. So, and that's pretty funny too. The photo, I'm guessing, must be from 2014. She wrote 2014 hot. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you're fucking still hot now. So yeah, it's such an honor to meet her. So I'm going to be getting a frame for this. Probably run over to Meyer in a little while and see if I can find something. Otherwise, like Hobby Lobby has like cheap frames, but I know they're not open on Sunday, so I might have to go tomorrow. So, and I should actually just show the pass here. I had it here. I meant to show that first, but whatever. Again, we just went to the Saturday event. The last couple of years I had one that said press, and then of course if you bought like, they had a Friday pass, they had obviously Saturday, I think they have Sunday as well, and then they have of course the 3-day. They all looked a little different, and of course said whatever you had there. So pretty cool. I like that, like the astronaut with the Astronomicon flag. Pretty cool logo. We'll show the so this is the print that they gave away when you were leaving from the panel. This is fucking cool. I'm also going to buy a frame for this, and I might have to take something down in here to hang it up, but this is fucking awesome. I'm definitely hanging this up. And then I had Dirk Manning sign it right there, and then after he signed it, he handed it over to where did she sign? I don't even see it. But he had the up here. Okay, it kind of doesn't show up too well. But he had the editor. She was there as well. I didn't catch her name, but she signed it right there. And then the artists were not there this year. It's like Mariana Pescasta and I forget what Di Fornisari. I forget what his first name is, but they're like a husband and wife, or boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever. But they are Italian and they're from Italy, and they were not there this year. So if I attend next year, I shouldn't say when I attend next year, I'll probably bring this and then have them sign that as well. So I'm definitely going to be getting a frame for that, hanging that up. I should show the also had the schedule here, the program. So same thing, just exactly the same size, but this is a nice little program, nice full color. So you have just all the list of vendors here, and they have the guests listed there. Yep, celebrity guests, vendors, artists, sponsors, all that stuff. So map there, the layout. Here's all the guests, if you want to pause it and look through it. I know they've already announced them all, so you should be able to find that online. So all the events and things like that. They had like the pool party. They had that concert, photo op schedule there, panels and Q&A schedule, frequently asked questions, and then just some ads. And they have a little memorial to Sid Haig there, who obviously just passed away. So, but yeah, pretty cool. Again, these are free. I always grab a couple to bring home, like to keep nice, and then I grab another one to keep in my pocket. So, because I sat on it and everything, got it all bent. I also, just real quick, I was thinking about doing the meet and greet with Brutus Beefcake. He's never been one of my favorite wrestlers or anything, but he was the very first professional wrestler that I ever met. When I was probably like 11 or 12, he was at the Autorama here in Grand Rapids, and my dad took me and my neighbor to meet him. And I got a promo of him, and which I still have. I have somewhere, and I was trying to find that. So, and I was like, if I can find it, I'm going to bring it and get a picture with him, like with me and him holding it. And I was gonna say, like, hey, you're the first wrestler I ever met. And but I don't know, just after I had kind of spent some money on some other stuff, I just kind of decided not to spend the money on it. And I know I always make it clear, I know at this point in their career that's how they make their money, but I just, it was kind of, I just don't need his was only $25, but I just didn't need to do it. So real quick, I do have like I said, this is what my roommate bought. I think she said she spent $5 on it, and then had him sign it. So it says Toxie loves Jennifer, and then signed it. It's got a few pictures of him and everything, and then she got her picture with him. Like I said, which I'll put that as the cover photo for this video. They were putting these out when I ran into Ryan. He had like a whole deck of these. Apparently, they're making a battle card game, a Magic Ninja battle card game, and they were just putting the cards all around the place. I didn't even know about it till he told me, and he had a nice stack already. So I walked around and I was trying to find some of them because they were going to start putting rare ones out, and they were like just free, just pick them up and build a deck. I'm guessing this is something they will be releasing. I don't feel like this is the full final product. This still feels a little not fully laminated and stuff, but obviously you got Joe Black from Axe there. I walked around trying to find some other ones and I didn't find them, but I just grabbed this one and threw it in my pocket. I also picked up the Almighty on vinyl, and it kind of makes me mad about this. Not really makes me mad, but I brought my Church of Zool EP to have them sign, and I bought this. I saw this at the table when I walked up at the merch table, and I was like, well, if I see Axe up there a little bit later, I'll grab this and have them sign it. Because I didn't see any schedule around anywhere of the autograph signings. So a little bit later, I picked up this. Been looking for a nice twisted hat for a while. And they had these, so I picked this up. Obviously at the merch stand, and when I bought this, Axe was over at the autograph table. So I was like, oh, let me get the Almighty too, and I'll go get that signed. So I got this, went and got right in line. There was still several people waiting in line. It wasn't as long as Twisted, but there were still several people. There was clearly people waiting to meet them in masks and people with their merch out. I was like 10 people away. I got my thing out, got this already, took the plastic off it, got my Church of Zool ready to go. And all of a sudden they just fucking turn around and leave, So, and I understand they have schedules to keep, but it was like 3:15, it wasn't like, 4:00 on the dot or anything like that, and they just turned around and left. So again, I'm not upset, I'm not complaining. I mean, I guess I kind of am, but I bought this specifically to go up there and have them sign. But of course I collect vinyl, so this is awesome to have, and I'll have them sign it sometime. It was just kind of like, what the hell, like there's all these people waiting and they just turned around and left, and no one else came up to the table, so it doesn't seem like it was any type of a schedule, like where okay, somebody else is coming. And then they all went outside and they were all standing outside the door smoking. So I'm like, well, maybe I'll wait and see if they come back in and just see if I can get them to sign it real quick. And then after they were done, they all walked up the sidewalk and took off. So, again, I'm not saying they're assholes or anything like that. I'm just kind of like, damn it. The whole reason I bought this was to have that signed. But again, I'll get it some other time. So, and just to show the hat a little closer, I know I showed that just real quick. So, They did have green with that on it too. And first I picked that up. I was like, oh, that would be cool. It was like a flat bill, whatever, and I don't like those at all. They don't look good on me, so I ended up going with the flex fit. Only thing is I just didn't want white because I just feel like that's gonna get dirty. I felt like the green would stay cleaner a little bit, but I'll just be a little careful with it. Also, not wild about the gray underbill on all of them. Like my Hatchet Man hat is the same. Every one of the whenever it's the Flex Fit brand, it's always the gray. Always gets all nasty. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's everything I picked up, and yeah, again, had a great time there. Highly recommend if you haven't been to it. If they're still with the divide going on, if you can put that aside. If you're a juggalo and you're kind of like sided with ICP or whatever, if you can kind of put that aside, I think you'll have a great time at Astronomicon. They do a great job. Like I said, shout out to Magic Ninja, Twisted, everybody behind the scenes. Again, I know there's a lot of people that helped put that together, and they did a great job. Once again, I had a blast. Jenny, who attended with me this year, who's not into Juggalo stuff at all, had a great time. Like, she was super excited to meet Lloyd Kaufman. And she ended up actually not doing the meet and greet with Art the Clown because she bought some art pieces from some other tables and stuff, and she was decided not, kind of just like me, just decided not to spend the money on it. But she was super excited to meet Lloyd Kaufman, and she had a great time. And probably be able to get her to go next year too, depending on what kind of guests are there. So that pretty much wraps it up. Yeah, this has been about a half hour, so let's wrap this up. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting. This is Ecocide Fiend, and I will catch you in the next one. Too sweet.